This is the behind the scenes video for our VR experience. We were doing a video on the Quest 2, and we just wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things that we saw while we were working on this experiment. We were both first time users, and when you first put on the headset, there was only like a minor issue, I guess you could say, was the head strap. It didn't adjust as much as we wanted to, and I'll show the head strap right here, but it was hard to adjust, and there was a gap on the nose part, so you could see the light and your surroundings peeking through right there. So it didn't really defeat the purpose because when you're immersed in a world, like it distracts from everything else. But there was a slight gap right there. But we didn't really have any issues. The only other comment that we could say that we didn't really like about it was how you can track your hand movements and everything, but when it goes to playing a game, you have to use the controllers for that. It won't just track your hands, even if it doesn't require any buttons during the game. My partner Nick was playing the Creed boxing game, so it's pretty much just moving your hands. There was no buttons to press. So it would have been nice to have a game like that where your hand movement was tracked throughout instead of having to rely on the controllers for that part. I think using the Quest 2 for the time being, I think we had it for like 2 days each. Yeah, I think so. And so during each of our times, like we both played around with different games most of the time because we were just trying to like experience it all for the first time. But there was a part about VR that we didn't expect is how immersed you really become with the games and how easy it is to like manage. I think we both expected it to be this like new groundbreaking type thing, that it was going to be hard or like something that we weren't used to, but it was different in the sense that you get like the whole 360 view, but it wasn't so hard to manage, and all of the different things are very accessible. The hand tracking was easy to use once we figured it out, and like there's a little tutorial that teaches you how to use it that we included in our tutorial video, and not in our tutorial, in our review video. And then it was a lot where like you kind of experience it from a different perspective when you're first starting out, because when we first started we were both kind of like thrown off a little bit, but like using it for so many hours or all of the different things that we were testing with it, it became really easy to use. The thing that we both found interesting was my partner Nick. He really actually liked the way that you could draw your own boundary, and it showed you what was in your surrounding and you can draw around it so that you could really get the feel for your space and move freely. What I actually enjoyed was the pass through, because I feel like at times you do set your boundary and everything, but you want to move from one room to another. And so it would be kind of a hassle to like move it up and like walk around with it up here while you're holding it. So I actually enjoyed the pass through. What I didn't enjoy about it was that it was on a grayscale. So I would have enjoyed it a bit more if it was more like realistic or you could see what the actual colors around you, because even to pick up my phone while I had it on, it was hard to distinguish the text and the visuals from the phone because it kind of got distorted. But other than that, we really enjoyed both of those features. And the hand tracking, I think we expected it to be more with the lagging sense, but it was actually very clear and it detected your hands very well. We think people would be very interested in the way that the device is set up, because you get almost all your everyday apps. You get your social media apps, Instagram, Facebook. You can use WhatsApp. So you can set it up to have all your notifications and everything come through the device. So even if you're playing, you can easily switch back and forth to see if you have anything new or just to scroll your feed. And I think it's something that people would actually enjoy, not having to change device so often or go from one screen to another, and just have the one device in charge of everything else. And I also think that they would enjoy the pass through feature. Like I said, I actually enjoyed that one. And I think once they get really immersed, the creating your own avatars and like seeing yourself in the mirror as an avatar and have it show like your movements and everything, I think that would be really cool for people to experience as well. And I think just the overall experience is something that people would be interested in, because it's something new that's still being discovered today. So once they become more normal to use, I guess people would get more comfortable using it around. And I think it's something that could develop further, and it would be cool kind of to see where it goes after. And the only thing I will say is that since the video, you, when you're recording like your boundaries and stuff, in the device you get like the grayscale view of what you're seeing, and when you go to transfer the videos, it's all blacked. So I think I would have liked having like that perspective to show like the grayness of the boundary or like a pass through setting. And I just didn't get that it was just a black screen. So it would have been nice to incorporate that. But then we also decided to shoot what we were seeing in the VR, but also what we were seeing in person. So like I recorded Nick while he was playing a game, and he recorded what he was playing and what he was doing on the VR. So I think we kind of just went with this is what it looks like from the outside, kind of looking in. I think the way that we approached the project and the video was we decided to keep in little bits and pieces of everything. Like we didn't put the full 20, 30 minutes of us playing games. We didn't put in the full amount of the times that we went to the home screen every single time we opened the map, not the map, every single time we opened the menu. So there was a few things that we left off, but we decided to keep a little bit of everything. After our experience with the Quest 2, me and Nick both kind of decided that we would like to test devices that are more expensive or advanced per se. We kind of started on the Quest 2 because we were like, oh, it was one of the first devices and we're first time users, so like let's see where it all began in a way. And we both decided that a more expensive device like the Varjo or even the Quest 3, like just something that was, or the Apple Vision Pro also, but just something more advanced so that we could compare and see what the different devices offered and how it compared to one another. Overall, the project was a great experience. It wasn't challenging, it was just a little bit out of our comfort zone because it was something new to us. I guess the device is front heavy, so it does fall forward a little bit. And so it kind of gets blurry or distorted whenever it does, and you have to keep readjusting it, which mainly ties back into the head strap that I had mentioned in the beginning. But overall, the experience was great. There was not really any complications that we had. And I would recommend other users to use the Quest 2 or any VR headset if they get the chance.